URC round number 14, folks. Ulster and the Stormers 38-34. What a genuinely bizarre game. I feel like I might say that too often, but this game had the home side down 17 points to nil before the 10 minutes mark had even come up. Flying start for the Stormers, and also genuinely a very bizarre red card for Nethling Fushi. Not the kind of thing you see every day, just in terms of the position of the ball carrier. But yeah, very important game for both sides with URC playoff spots on the line. Both these sides needing some points. It is Ulster who get the bonus point win. The Stormers get a couple of bonus points out of this one, but we'll be pretty disappointed with the way things finished after a fantastic start. We'll go through some of the key events and the stats, and you guys can let us know your thoughts on the game. But as I said, it was bizarre. The Stormers' start was cracking, and the Ulster crowd didn't have much to cheer about early because they were just seeing their team ship points. Like, they found their voices once they got something to cheer about later. But man, kick from the Stormers early. I think it's Duvanaka with the box kick. The Stormers forwards chased the thing, turned the Ulster guys over. Then Duvanaka again puts Evan Roos into a gap that a midfielder would be proud to be taken. Evan Roos has got some pretty good wheels for a Lucy. 7 points to nil. Feinberg and Gomazulu with the conversion. And then a couple of minutes later, Feinberg and Gomazulu again slots a 30-metre droppy with the wind in his face, I think. They were playing into the wind in the first half. Hell of a strike, 10 points to nil. And then Ben Loader pinches loose ball from the Ulster guys in their own half. McCloskey chases hard but can only really shadow him into the corner. Ben Loader touches it down, and then Feinberg and Gomazulu from the touchline strikes a sweet conversion, so it is 17 points to nil. That try for Loader was on 7 minutes, so what a start from the Stormers. The madness did continue though, and this time for Ulster's way. The crowd was actually given something to cheer about when their forwards managed to get them a couple of metres out. You think Ulster, they like to tuck it up the jumper and just go through the phases, but no. They spun it, they gave it to the backs, and it worked out for them. Cooney to Murphy. Jack Murphy wide pass to Balakoon, who's back on the side. He is a welcome return to Ulster colours. Misconversion, but 17-5. Then the game settles down a bit. The mad scoring stops for a little while because, the Balakoon tries on 11 minutes. We've had 3 tries and a droppy. What a crazy start. You get the Stormers scrum putting pressure on. You get Ulster sending McCloskey down the wing. He gets put into touch. You get Cooney going through a gap. It looks like he might be on, but there's a penalty conceded in the build-up, so he gets called back. And then Ulster on 26 minutes have a ball bloody close to the Stormers' line, maybe 5 metres out, but they knock it on. So it seems like it's a missed chance. However, from the resulting scrum, Ulster put in maybe their best scrum of the game because they managed to win themselves a scrum penalty. And from that scrum penalty, they are able to go on attack, go through some close range phases, and that man Warwick is able to go over. Love a good front row try. So it is 17 points to 12. Suddenly looking a lot healthier from the Ulster guys. The Stormers did have a chance to kind of stop the rot in terms of Ulster putting on back-to-back points when Feinberg and Gomazulu had a chance to line up a penalty, and it had all come from Ulster kind of kicking it dead. Ulster were the masters of their own surrendering territory at that point, but when they conceded a penalty, they opted for 3, the Stormers, and the ball fell off the tee right about 7 or 8 seconds before Feinberg and Gomazulu was due to take the kick. So he had to rush back, put the ball back on the tee. The crowd start counting down with the shot clock. And he has to take the kick with only a couple of seconds left. And with the hurrying up, he misses it. He probably would have got it if it hadn't fallen off the tee. But it is a miss. And then he kind of doubles down on the mistakes. The ball falling off the tee is not really his mistake, Feinberg and Gomazulu. But a couple of minutes later, Balakoon, from his own half, puts a big chip kick through. And there's Stormers defenders for days running back to field that kick. But Feinberg and Gomazulu just comes across and just takes Balakoon out, knocks him to the ground, and then signals from get up. But it's dumb. You can't. They're so strict on changing your lines now. You literally just barged into him when there was Stormers, as I said, defenders for days, so there was really no reason for it. Unless he was frustrated from the penalty, maybe that was on his mind. I don't know, but he changes his line and he gives away a very silly yellow card. And he'll feel extra silly because Ulster punished immediately. They opted for touch. They got the maul going. Timony peeled off. Had a big carry, went close. And then Murphy was able to go over in the corner. So we go into halftime at 17 points apiece. So Stormers 17 points unopposed, and then Ulster 17 points in return, back to all square. Ulster have had the possession 68% at halftime, but the Stormers have had the territory 52%. Stormers have conceded more penalties 6-3. But they've had to make a lot of tackles, over 100 to Ulster's like 30, because Ulster's just been going through a heck of a lot of phases. But Stormers have been putting in more kicks. Why not? Got them their first try, exactly right. It was useful. So, yeah, second half starts and the Stormers get into a bit of hot water with the TMO coming in for a Damien Willems a clean out, but it's a penalty only. But once again, you give Ulster a chance from close range, and they take it, man. 5 metre tap, the forwards truck it up. Then the backs shift it wide. It's really lovely to see the Ulster guys using the backs. Carson to Murphy to Lowry to Stockdale. And then a good conversion from wide out. So 24 points to 17. And then maybe, I want to say, a pretty controversial moment of the game. There's contact between Ben Carson and Neithling Fushi. Ben Carson is carrying the ball into contact and Fushi's going in for the tackle. The ref live calls it. Both guys are very low. Nothing doing. And then they put it on the big screen. And that looks not great because Ben Carson gets whacked in the head. And they've got time to put on the big screen because Carson is down injured. He's obviously seeing stars because he's been whacked in the head. But the dude was as bent over into the carry as you can get. Literally leading with his head. I don't know how you expect to tackle somebody when he's in that kind of position. So they have a look at it, and referee Priati decides that the tackling action of Fushi was always illegal because he kind of looks like he's leading with the shoulder and doesn't get a wrap going. So he ends up getting a red card. I don't really know how you're supposed to wrap the head, though. Like, I don't think even a legal tackle when someone is carrying like that is going to look bad. I feel like, I know the dude got knocked out, and I don't mean to punish him as well, but that kind of carry should be illegal. That should be penalisable. You can't carry with your head that bent down. You are just asking for trouble. That is, I mean, even a yellow, I don't know. I mean, because it looks like he's not wrapping. But as I said, I don't know how you're supposed to wrap the head because he's just carrying directly with his head. It is strange. A red seemed a bit harsh for mine. But anyway, so yeah, that's 13 men on the field for the Stormers with Fushi going off for a red and Feinberg and Zulu still in the bin. So yeah, Ben Carson has to go off. Hopefully he's all right. But man, you can't be carrying the ball like that for your own safety. Jeepers, can't do that. Feinberg Zulu, though, he comes back on and he slots a droppy, which is a nice return for him. So 24 points to 20, back to a wee bit closer. But then there's a real kind of back and forth of try scoring. You get Zach Ward, who's just come on for Ballacoon. Ballacoon looked to have a bit of cramp. They didn't want to risk him on his return, so they took him off. He gets one, big Stockdale line break, draws in Loader at the back, and then gives it to Ward, who's able to finish it off. So back to a two-score game, 31-20. Engelbrecht gets one in reply from the Stormers. Feinberg and Gormazulu involved again with the assist to put him into the gap. It was pretty sweet. It all started, to be fair, way back with Ulster when they had a scrum around halfway. Like their scrum set play, they just passed it forward. That was the surrendering of like both territory and possession to the Stormers, which the Stormers got a penalty from, and then they're up Ulster's end. So just a straightforward pass from a set play was kind of weak from them, but the Stormers punish. So 31-27, back to game on. But then the Stormers kicking game gets punished when that man Mikey Lowry does that footwork of his. Geez, he's elusive when he gets it going. I haven't seen it from him maybe I haven't been watching enough of Ulster's games, but like it's like Mike Lowry from old. Footwork on Zas, he gets rid of him, and then the hands for the support line, so they're able to get another one. This one's through Moore, who finishes it off, but loads of guys have Doken involved in the build-up as well, so 38 points to 27. Seems like is it game over again, because that tries, 66 minutes, not that long to go, a couple of score leads, but Stormers get a 5-metre line out after the Ulster guys were offside, and then there's a cynical hand in there as they shut it down. It looks like a knock-on at ruck time, but Timony's got an illegal hand in there, so that's cynical. He gets carded. The Stormers go through the tap and go phases. Roos able to go over for his second, so 38-34, back to a one-score game. Can the Stormers pinch it at the death? 14-14. No, they have a line out around halfway at the end of the game, which they lose, which means the Ulster guys hit it into touch, and that is game over. So a massive, massive win in terms of Ulster's push for the playoffs. But yeah, down from 17-0 and back to win it. Crazy, crazy game. Territory, the Stormers still win that battle 58-42, but the position's virtually the reverse, 56-44 for Ulster. Line breaks 7-4 to Ulster, so they were pretty sharp. Stockdale had 3 of those line breaks, almost half of them. The Stormers guys had more turnovers, 4-2, but the tackle count was in Ulster's favour, 90% to 85, so good defensive shift. Van Heerden, though, for the Stormers made 18 tackles, but some of his back teammates missed a few. Feinberg and Gormazulu missed 4, Hartzenberg missed 3, Zas missed 3, De Wet missed 3 from the bench, so they'll be a little bit frustrated with those guys. Stockdale beat 7 defenders, so he was part of the reason a few of those guys were missing so many tackles. But yeah, crazy game. Like I mentioned, you guys let us know what your thoughts are on the red, because it's a genuinely bizarre one. As I said, I mean, Fouchier's tackling technique didn't come out looking great, but I don't feel like anybody's tackle technique is going to look great when a guy's leading with his head into the contact. Feinberg and Gormazulu's yellow card was also pretty dumb. I think that cost the Stormers pretty directly in terms of, Ulster being able to punish straight away, and when the scoreboard is as close as it was, that one looks pretty bad. But Ulster, despite a pretty rotten start, managed to come back, and good to see Ballacoon back in action and Stockdale flying. You guys let us know your thoughts on the game, and I'll talk to you guys again soon. See you later.